you're in a relationship with somebody who I would assume that if she's in a relationship and she's given to you, she really likes you, right? But you don't want her back. So stop saying women aren't doing it when you're with a woman. She's doing it for you. You're with one.
we're getting what we want in a relationship. That's why she's still here.
No, maybe you're getting what you want, because if y'all don't have the conversation, let's keep it real. If you don't bring the conversation up, she doesn't bring the conversation up, then that means there's a lack of communication going on in general.
That's not true.
It has to be, because you're not being transparent. Then withholding is a lack of is withholding conversation. You're avoiding the conversation. You're avoiding the conversation. You're saying, I'm going to put the onus on her, and if she doesn't bring it up, then we're not going to converse about it. Versus being transparent. As a man and as a leader, that's what you do. You have the hard conversations. You lead with the tough conversations. But you're not standing in that to have that conversation with her because you want to stay in a relationship that you know that you're benefiting from, knowing
you
that
agree that every woman is different, right?
Right. So he no, I agree.
He said every woman is different. That's why he needs to have the conversation with her. She might not be the woman that want to stay in a long-term relationship without being married.
The thing about it is, and she may be the woman who wants to, but you're never gonna know unless you have that conversation.
Well, he doesn't need to have the conversation. If she's that woman, he doesn't need to have the conversation because he's already getting what he wants. He doesn't broach the conversation because once he finds out that that's what she wants, it becomes an expectation that he's not willing to give because he's not ready to be married yet. But just have that conversation and just say, I'm not ready to be married yet. And I don't know if you're the one.
No. Nope. You should not be dating a guy if you're not looking for marriage or you're not asking questions. If you've been in here for a year,
I agree.
That is on her. Don't go to the guy. Leave the guy out of it because she is deciding to stay with somebody. So you can't feel sympathy for somebody that's doing what they want to do. They made their choice. So you guys don't need to, hey, come on, you're not standing in your truth and being honest and this and that. There are some women that have no problem being a side piece.
But then have that conversation. All we're saying, I know you keep trying to say it's the woman is the woman. Okay, we'll give you that.
He's
just not getting it.
No.
It's the first. I guess for me, where I'm getting frustrated with is that there is no argument on our side saying that we disagree with him about the woman having to have broached the conversation to let him know, I desire to be married. Like that's a standard. We both agreed that she should have had that conversation. But the fact that it's been on that it at least crossed your mind to not have the conversation with her means that you're intentionally withholding a conversation that should be had because you're avoiding. Okay. So let her take her ownership. Let her take her ownership. What is your ownership in this?
Nothing.
Before you guys got married, are you saying that every single guy that you've been with, you wanted to marry?
Yeah.
Every guy that I've had 3 serious relationships, and I was engaged twice, married once. And in all of those situations, the guy initiated the conversation of marriage.
Do you
take that back.
Do you think that's the majority of women? That's how they move?
In terms of conversation, I think majority of people have the conversation.
So,
regardless of who initiates it, I think the conversation is had.
No. Women are having 20, 40, 100 bodies out here. So I'm saying, are the majority of women getting with all of these guys expecting marriage from every guy that they're sleeping with?
No, because I think there's a difference between sleeping with a guy and being in a relationship with a guy. So the woman, what you're talking about, women that got 20, 40, 100 bodies, I don't think they're having intent on being married when they're doing that. But I would say out of that 20, 40, 100, it was probably 3 that they was probably, thinking that they were going to get married to. I would
So I
assume.
So
think
every girl that gets in a relationship wants to marry that guy.
so. I don't. I think that if you if you're with a man for a year, 2 years, 3 years, she's probably so women. So this is the thing about women, and I hold true to this. So you have women who don't mind sleeping around. We can call them spiritual, whatever you want to call them. Okay. And they have mastered the art of keeping their feelings out of a sexual relationship. I would argue that they are not the majority. Most women, when they have sex with you, it does lead to an emotional relationship, especially women who are just not out there like that. Right. And so if a woman is giving herself to you, and I don't know if you know if there's somebody else, but if she's loyal to you and you're the only person, more than likely, whether she's told you or not, she's probably got feelings for you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when women have feelings with men, they're scared to initiate those conversations because they don't want to scare you off. They feel like, oh, if I just stick in here long enough, he'll develop those same and he'll see me in that. I'm just telling you, you can't tell me what women. I'm just telling you how some women think. And so I think that the key words here, which have us of concern, is one, the length of time. That 1 second the conversation has not taken place. I'm assuming she's not a floozy on the street. Like I mean, unless she slept with a whole bunch of people, I can just assume that she's probably not that person who's sleeping with a lot of people. But just most women who have had intercourse with a man, especially over an extended amount of time, there are some feelings there. That's most women, unless she is, like I said, the little group that is able to block their emotional feelings from sexual acts.
But
And
your
let me just answer
argument goes
somebody
out the
else's
window
question.
when you understand that most women are not even thinking about marrying the guy they be in a relationship with.
And you don't
Let
even
me
know.
just answer. Let me answer somebody's question. I think Andre, he asked, "Did I bring up marriage first or husband?" I'm gonna be honest. I can't remember who initiated conversation, but we did have conversations about marriage, and he told me he didn't believe in marriage. So I do remember having a conversation around marriage. He told me he didn't believe in marriage, and in that conversation, my response was, "I believe in marriage." And either that's going to be with you or with somebody else, but that is an expectation of mine. I knew I was going to get married. That was the way that I was raised. And so that was it. That was the end of the conversation around marriage. He told me he didn't want to be married. He didn't believe in marriage, blah, blah, blah. I said that I did, and I'm going to be married. And that conversation was never had after that. And then, we spent time in our
You're an
relationship.
anomaly, though.
But no, but he asked me directly. What I'm saying though is I agree with you in that the conversation should have been had at this point. But what I guess the part where we're disagreeing on is regardless of who initiated, for me, I don't think it is an either or. I don't think is maybe just on a woman to initiate it or just on the man to initiate it. I think the conversation should be had. It doesn't matter who initiates it. I think somebody needs to let that be known, whether you as a man going in a relationship like my husband did, saying he don't believe in marriage, he made that known to me, and that led me to decide whether or not I'm going to stay in this knowing that there's a possibility that I probably won't be married if I stay with him, or not, or I stay with it and then accept it as is. He initiates that conversation, tell me he didn't want to. I said, okay, I ain't looking to be married right now, but one day I plan on being married. And that was it. We had that conversation. I can't then go back and be upset with him later on if he never married me, because he was honest about it up front. He he was honest and laid it on the table. On that point, it was my choice to stay there. Just like what I'm saying in this situation, it shouldn't matter who initiates the conversation. All I'm saying is that the conversation should be had. And neither one of y'all have had that conversation. And so you're expecting that maybe she don't want to get married because she ain't bring it up. But on the other hand, she could be having the same thought process. Like, I'm going to wait and see if he wants to get married, because he may be doing these things that make her believe that y'all are having a good relationship and is naturally going to progress into marriage.